Hey,
Hi,
how you
how are you?
doing?
Good, good.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Busy. Want to get this show on the road, so to speak. You're just excited though. Excited. I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you. You got my message. Did you get the script that I?
I've got the
Nice.
script here.
Yeah.
Um, I have so just maybe run me through what it is you want from me for
Oh.
this.
Um. So, like James. You know who James Hamilton is?
Just via you, just
Oh,
through
okay.
you.
So James
Yeah.
and I wrote this. This is basically it's a theater play. It takes place on a stage. What it is, two guys wake up one morning. They gotta get the streetcar across the high level because that's their job. And they get stuck in the middle of the high level, and they're trying to fix
Two
it. All
conductors?
two conductors.
Two okay.
Yeah.
Just the way you've written the script, it just says conductor, so I thought it was all one person. Um,
No, it's two. It's two.
okay,
We were gonna
okay.
try to we were gonna what we were originally gonna do, it was gonna be like about like we're gonna have 6 or 7. It was gonna be like the last night of like the conductors, and they were gonna like take the last trolley across, and there was gonna be opium involved and stuff. But we thought it was a little too close to home, a little too real. So we just made it two. We made it like midday. But anyway, it breaks down. They're fixing it up. The next thing you know, what's that? What's it? Is that an explosion? And then what's that? Is that screaming? And then zombies. So
Okay.
that's what's happening. And in zombie movies, have you seen a zombie movie before?
Yeah, I've seen a
Yeah,
couple for
cool.
sure. Zombies on a plane.
Yeah, yeah. There's zombies on a plane in World War Z. Yeah, yeah.
No, there's just a movie called Zombies on a Plane.
Oh,
Um,
I haven't seen it.
and Zombies on a Train. And Zombies on a Train. There's a whole
Huh.
series of zombies on. Anyway, I've seen one. That's the whole point.
I saw
I've
a
seen
movie
one.
called Zombies on Zombies. It was a
Oh,
pornography. It was a pornography movie.
I got that. I got that
Yeah,
trend. I got that.
but
Okay.
it's so you got some physical acumen. You've got some stage fighting background. You've got some silk work with theater, with circus and stuff. So I was like, we need someone that knows like safety, because there's going to be people flying everywhere. Like, and we've got like
Right.
our blood and guts guy is going to soak the stage, so it's going to be slippery. Um, and we're going to go
Right.
organic. So it's
So
go ahead.
I just had a quick like so on I think it's about page your page numbers are crazy, Trent.
I mixed them
So
up
I
because
think this
yeah.
is it says 20-5 plus 12. So whatever that means
What are the
to
first three
you,
words?
that's
What are
what
the first three words on the top of it?
uh blood and guts.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 25.
Yeah, okay. So it says blood and guts
Mm-hmm.
flying around the stage, parentheses, could be silks, smashing people in the face, getting the audience as gross as possible, new parentheses,
Yeah.
can this be real blood, parentheses again.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we've got a handful of ideas smashed into one sentence that I'd love to just figure out what it is you
Yeah.
actually mean by all that.
Well, we've actually updated that. We do have some organic materials that we're going to use. My blood and guts guy, he owns a turtle farm, and a lot of them get sick, so he has like an excess of turtle materials that we're going to use
Okay.
because although they
Is that
stink,
locally sourced?
he's just outside of town. So, well, no, the turtles aren't locally
Okay.
sourced, but
That's more what
he
I,
is.
yeah.
But he's got trucks full of them, and he doesn't know what to do. And he's like, "Well, you want to use them? You got anything to use them for?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he also he said he's got a bucket full of beaks too. I don't know if you could use turtle beaks for anything, but
Well, so and safety wise,
yeah,
are these turtle, you say we've already got truckloads of them.
yeah.
Is that refrigerated truckloads or is this
Oh no.
rotting
No,
currently?
they're not rotting. They're in the shade, so they're in a state of decomposition, but they don't have any like hearts to beat blood through them in order to keep them. They're not rotting though. They're not.
So it's just like sitting blood though. It's just nothing's keeping it
Uh,
cold. And
okay, there's a tarp
what's the
over it.
likelihood we're gonna open it and it's full of maggots? Sort of where I'm
Uh,
at.
fair, but we're gonna hose it down. We're gonna hose we're gonna hose it all down. That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm gonna write that down. I'll get that to James. But nobody's gonna have to eat it. It'll get sprayed around the lips and the eyes and the mouth and all the holes, but it won't go in it. And the first 3 rows are gonna have like little like those little I don't know what you call them, like the garbage bags, but you cut the holes in them.
Ponchos, like a
That's
poncho?
it. Yeah. So they'll all have ponchos.
Okay.
We don't have a lot, so some people will have to share, but the spray zone will be covered.
Okay.
It'll look really cool. It'll smell just like a dead zombie. And it'll just.
So you're
really
going for like as authentic as possible.
Exactly. Which brings me to my next question. You know how that cool effect is when you break someone's arm and it goes, oh, it hyperextends, right? You know how you do it, but then you flip your arm over and you're like, oh, he broke his arm, like that. You know how that looks?
Okay.
So when you do it, and
like,
you bring it over here, you go boom, but his arm flips over and it's like, oh, but it's not really a broken arm.
Okay.
What happens if you don't flip it over properly and you actually break the elbow? Like what is the theater?
Then you've got a broken arm.
Yeah, but how do we act through
we
that?
just hope that we don't have a compound fracture. It's probably, I mean, if we're going regulation, we stop the show and remove that actor. I mean, if you're going for sort of a Fellini style realness, you scream through the pain, I guess. I'm not super trained in the realism aspect. I've mostly done, fighting for film, make 'em ups and find ways to make it look real. I haven't done as much of the real that you seem to be going for here.
So try to not actually break an elbow, I guess.
I think because I mean, I guess at the end of the day, what I have to say on that is how many shows are you doing? Because if you're only doing one show, then you're, I guess you can break more things if you have the consent of your performers. But ideally, I think most people want to be able to do more than one show.
Well, I think it was which place closed down? Was it the saloon, the country saloon? What place closed down there? The OK Country Saloon near the Fringe grounds.
Okay.
Do you remember that place?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It was some sort of saloon. Anyway,
no,
the manager guy gave me the key before he left town. So we're gonna just do as many shows as we can. I'm thinking upwards of 3 a day. Yeah, like for at least 10 days.
Then I really think, then I really think we need to think about some sort of refrigeration for all of that blood. So that it just isn't rotten. I understand that you want the smell, but I just think that that's going to really help people a lot.
But
and then
I don't
not,
want people
not
throwing
breaking.
up, though. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I also think, just some audience members are probably going to be pretty sensitive to both the smell and visually seeing someone breaking their bones on stage. I think you could end up with a lot of vomit. Do you have
What
a
if we just put up a
plan?
sign, though? Like, can you just put up a sign?
What would your sign say? What are you gonna?
There's live blood. There's gonna be some smells. It's like a chili cook-off, right? Have you ever seen some people eat at a chili cook-off? That's pretty like.
True.
That's
I'm thinking more like high school biology. Like there's often times when you go to dissect something and people pass out because they don't actually know that they're as sensitive as they suddenly are in the moment when it's full of visceral innards. And especially if you've got a compound fracture, people don't really know how they're going to react to seeing bones outside of bodies.
So 2 signs, maybe 3 signs. We'll put 1 outside and we'll put 2 inside. We'll just cover all the bases.
and then I just think you need a vomit plan. I think you need a vomit plan.
Well, that's what the spray zone's for. That's what we got. Well, maybe everybody will get a poncho. Maybe I'll just have garbage bags.
Yeah,
maybe we'll just say
maybe a bucket. Maybe a bucket.
Oh, that's a great idea. Because they can sit on the buckets and then they can throw up in the buckets and then they can just sit on the buckets again. No, then the throw up will come up. You know what? I'll talk to James.
I mean,
about this.
you eat a lot. You eat a lot of ice cream.
This is why I talk to you.
Just save your ice cream.
You have such a vision. Okay. All right.
I try.
So I have. There's another one. We have 1 live birth. It's not live because it's a zombie.
Is that in
birth.
the script you sent me?
No, James called me in the morning and put it in the morning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's a live birth, but his joke was it's not a live birth because it's a zombie. And there was silence,
Oh,
and then I
it's an
realized
undead, but I get it.
yeah, but then I realized he was on the other side of the phone going, and then I realized, James, I can't see your face. And anyway, but so it's a live birth of a zombie, but James was like, what if the zombie was pregnant when it became a zombie, which could have been like maybe 20 years ago. So
Um, doesn't that isn't that in the original Dawn of the Dead?
no, I was a baby, like an actual baby. We're talking about like a 22-year-old zombie that has been gestating for 22 years. It's an homage to it.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
not a sake to call it a baby is just in um, physical movement. It's not actually a baby
So,
because it's going to come out fully grown and able to buy a firearm.
so are we strapping a grown man to a woman, or what's your
That's
vision for
that's
how
what I
that
want to talk about because like
happens?
this, she comes in a fight scene. There's some close stuff. Her bodice gets ripped and reveals that she's totally pregnant. And then the fear of her bodice getting ripped, because the way zombies work, if their clothes get ripped, I guess they get upset. She immediately gives birth, and then
Okay.
and it's just like she created another fighter for her to fight with her, but it was in
Okay, so
her.
you need an actor that can do an entire fight sequence with a
Yeah,
22-year-old man strapped to her body,
yeah,
and then post the fight sequence, shirt gets ripped, baby pops out, and keeps fighting.
yes.
Okay, do you have an actor in mind for that's a pretty tall order. Just
I
uh
don't have an actor in mind, but I would like for them to be good actors. I would like
oh,
for them to be
okay.
good actors if we can do that. Good physical actors that can act punching and do fights. And aren't weird
Right.
around turtle intestines, because everybody gets a little pissy about that. I'm like, they've been dead for weeks, right? These turtles are.
Right. Again, I really do think it's got a lot to do with probably some animal rights. There's definitely some lines being crossed there, but the smell and the lack of proper care and store for these guts and intestines is probably there's going to be some issues raised
Okay.
for
Well,
sure.
we care about the turtles.
Uh,
We gave them all names. Like, all right.
Again, I'm just wondering about like, are there shells in with all like
No, they're totally
just
shelled.
for
That's why they don't have
safety?
their beaks. I took the shells off them. I took their beaks. The shells have already been sold. I made $16 off of the shells. Okay. That's like, that's like
Is
two and
that
a.
ethical?
Well, no, the guy really, I thought it should have been 35, but he was like 16 and or get out. And I'm like, well, this is unethical. Such a
I'm
cheap
yeah,
price for so many
it's
shells.
you know what, that's not let's move on. That's not even
Okay.
let's talk about the show.
Okay.
Um okay. How many zombie actors are you hoping to have?
Okay. So there's the initial fight. So a lot of the fighting happens behind the curtains, right? So we don't need to see a lot of that. Okay, that's going to be sound effects. That's where hopefully Dave Clark,
Okay.
uh, and there's going to be lights and whatnot. There's going to be a couple of waves, one or two or three, four, five, six. We can reuse the same people. We just change the wigs and the teeth and the wounding and the makeup and the clothing and the appendages and the way they walk and the way they speak and their height and stuff like that. We can do that like quick changes, no problem. So I'm thinking in upwards of 20,
So
25.
this is a 25, 30 person cast.
Yeah. No. Because we're gonna use the same actors as zombies. So it'll be 20, 20 tops.
So
Oh, and
20
Louise.
tops.
Louise is the soul flare, and she'll come in. She has the goats. Because when she comes in with the goats, that's another question that I need to ask you about, like getting a
Okay.
harness.
And I
Sorry,
don't,
I
is that
interrupted.
in my script? I don't know if that's in my script either.
That's what
Can you tell
Louise
me a
said, it
little bit
wasn't in
more
hers
about
either.
this?
Louise said it wasn't in hers either. That's
What?
ridiculous. So at the end, right before so the denouement is This nobody's gonna see this, so this is a spoiler. James and I have killed all the zombies, and we're kissing a lot. And then
Oh, so you're the conductors.
yes, because we can't
You're
find
the you.
anybody
Oh,
else. Everybody's all shitty about turtle guts.
okay. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's a different. So we're kissing, we're holding each other, and then she floats in. Louise floats in as the soul flayer goddess, demigod of the zombie people, and the goats are all coming on the floor around her, and they just follow her because their goats are really good actors. I was told they're really good actors, and they'll just follow her. So I guess it's 21, 22, 23, and the 6 goats. So it's 29 souls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the amount of actors.
And then what is, so she flies in and then goats, and is that
she
the
monologues.
end?
She has a long monologue, beautiful monologue, which I haven't written yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be really good. And
Okay.
the goats all bray to her affectatiously, and they bow on their goat knees. I'm not allowed to get blood on the goats though, so I've got to create these little knee socks for the goats. Pretentious.
Okay.
And then she
Fair,
goes
I guess.
away, and then the ending.
And what is the ending?
Well, we clean up the rest of the blood. We get the frigger started again. We get back to work like you do in Alberta. Get back to work.
So you do win. You win the zombie apocalypse. You win.
Well,
You survive.
we win the right to fight for another day, I think.
Okay, so
So
this is just sort of like a day in the life of the zombie
yeah,
apocalypse.
it's like at the end of Inception where you see the top spinning, and you don't know if it's going to fall or not, and you don't know if it's going to fall or not, and you're still looking to see if it's falling, and you're really paying attention to it. You're really paying attention to it. Then you speed it up a bit, and you slow it down. You speed it up a bit. Like, are they going to get off the track? Are they going to get off the track? Are they going to get off the track?
Sorry, how long is this part of the
that
show?
part? It plays 42 minutes, give or take. The last, so I would say Lou comes in at the 30-minute mark. It's a good 10 minutes. It's a good 10 minutes of slow trolley movement, right? As we clean the tracks.
Okay,
of the
so the
zombies.
the fights take place in the first 10-ish minutes, and then you've got half an hour of trolley movement. Is that?
Yeah, well, not a half hour. No, so it's 10 minutes trolley movement at the end. 5 minutes trolley movement at the start. It breaks down. Zombie, 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 zombies. Live birth fight scene. Lou.
Right.
Goats. Lou goes. Goats goes. Fix it. 10 minutes.
Trolley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And silence during the trolley moves? Just
there's gonna be some wind. We've got to talk to Dave Clark, right? It's all about Dave Clark. He might have some idea. Like he might want to have he might want to be funny and have like toads or something in the background.
Right. Okay. Great. I guess my last question is you've written here Ariel Silk's piece involving 8 zombies, and I'm guessing this is where you first mentioned Lou is pinned at the top of the silks.
Yeah.
With her goats. You want her at the top of a silk with her goats and 8 zombies climbing up.
So that's changed. So Lou, the goats come down on the silks.
Okay.
But no. I'm making this complicated. There's only 2 goats on the silks. There's goats on the ground. Lou's floating in on a crane, right? Okay. So there's only 2. We didn't want to overcomplicate it, right? So it's only 2 goats that come down on the silks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, I mean, I have a few ideas of how we could get goats down on the silks. I worry about goats and zombies simultaneously. I worry just for the safety of the goats more than anything.
Well, the zombies, we've already killed them all. So
Okay, so by the
yeah.
time we have, so those are two separate silks events. We have zombies on silks and we have goats on silks.
There's no more. We got rid of the silk zombie part. We put the so
Okay.
what we did was we took out the zombie silk scene, and that's the scene, that's a sex scene between James and I. That we put that in there because
Okay.
we thought the zombie silks, because we were
And
thinking silks. Go ahead.
no, just is that sex scene is in the trolley? So is it
Well,
implied or is that
it starts in the trolley. We work our way around quite a bit, and we find a penultimate joining on the roof.
more than anything? I'm just wondering if I need to choreograph that action or if that's something you guys will actor action you'll deal with on your own.
James's angles are terrible, so if you could, like, we might need we might need some video footage or something, but like James might need some talking through it. Like, I know what I'm doing, but James, we might need someone to choreograph just the angles and different, like, because you want the whole audience to be able to see it, right? We don't want any dark sight lines. We want everybody to be able to see, like,
I mean,
power.
there's I understand where you're coming from. I just think, don't forget that there's tons of value to leaving some things up to the imagination and letting the audience build their own idea of what that looks like in their hearts.
Okay.
So there's something to be said for the power of that. So we can look at maybe marrying those two concepts a little bit as we move forward in that process. Yeah.
Cool.
So this sounds like a lot. I'm going to need to really go through. If you could send me a new version of the script
for sure.
with all of these details, then I can sort of get a better idea of what we're working with and how much of my time this will take.
Excellent. And we're gonna figure out what we're gonna be able to pay everybody as well, very soon. And we'll let you.
I'm just gonna send you a bill. I have a rate, and I'll just send it to you, and then you can just pay me that. Great.
Sounds great. Sounds good. Sounds
Perfect.
Great. Okay.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. And if there's any other questions, let me know. And I'm just really glad to talk to you. And
I'm sure there will be.
You're full of life. You got a vivacity that I can really transcends through the medium of internet talking. And I just you're a part of something bigger than all of us. And I
look forward to seeing how it all comes together.
Good. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll send that off to you right now, and I'll tell James I talked to you, and yeah, I'm pretty jazzed.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll be in touch then.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a good day. Thank you, Samara.
Bye.